Welcome to Mind and Soul Matters. We're delighted to share with you again another special presentation from a live forum. It is part of a series of live talks organised in collaboration between Mind and Soul Matters and Melville Baha'i Community to discuss issues around mental health in our society. I will leave the introduction of our presenter to Dr. Dina Ashurian, MC of the forum.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dina, and I'll be the MC for this afternoon's program. I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting on Noongar land today, and to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land, and to the elders, past and present, and to pay my respects to their culture. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of background on family and domestic violence. Domestic violence remains a significant and deeply concerning issue in Australia, affecting individuals from all ages, genders, and cultural backgrounds. It encompasses physical, emotional, psychological, sexual, and financial abuse. Domestic violence not only causes an incredible amount of personal trauma, but also has wide-ranging social and economical impacts, contributing to homelessness, mental health issues, and places a heavy burden on the health and justice systems. This complex issue requires a coordinated, whole-of-community response that includes education, early intervention, accessible support services, and sustained government commitment to prevention and justice reform. I'd like to share a personal anecdote. As many of you know, these forums take months to organize. And whilst we were in the planning stages for this particular one, I was called to jury duty. And it so happened to be a case involving domestic violence. The synchronicity was striking. It was almost as if it was validating the importance of this event and to help me understand it better than just simply researching the topic. Serving as a juror on this case gave me a powerful and personal insight into the devastating impact that this abuse can have on both the partner and the children involved. While I was aware of domestic violence as a significant issue, hearing firsthand accounts and seeing the emotional toll it took on the family brought a whole new level of understanding and empathy for me. It revealed the complexity of these situations, the fear, the silence, the lasting trauma, and how it affects every aspect of a victim's life. This experience has shifted my perspective and deepened my commitment to supporting efforts to educate the community about the impact and resources available to those affected. Our first speaker is Jayne Jarito. Jayne brings over a decade of experience as a financial counselor, understanding the hardships faced by vulnerable individuals and families facing financial abuse. She successfully led the development of a skilled financial counseling team in the Pilbara region, fostering industry expertise within the community. Her diverse experience involves roles with Perth Metro Financial Counselling, the National Debt Helpline, Rent Relief Financial Counseling, and currently she provides specialized support to women and children impacted by family and domestic violence through an organization called RUA. It's a community service provider in Western Australia, assisting clients to make meaningful changes in their lives. As a strong advocate, she is consistently driving positive change in financial institutions and government services for those experiencing financial hardships. So please welcome Jayne to the podium.
Thank you for being here this afternoon to talk about a difficult but incredibly important subject: family and domestic violence. It touches lives across all communities, including our own here in Western Australia. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. Talking about it, understanding it, is the first steps towards change. So, What is family and domestic violence? At its core, it's not about anger management or issues relating to relationship arguments that get out of hand. It is a pattern of behavior used by one person in an intimate relationship or family setting to exert power and control over another. It can happen to anyone, regardless of age, gender, sexuality, culture, or income level. However, we know statistically that it disproportionately affects women and children. And the statistics paint a stark picture of just how widespread the issue is. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, most recent personal safety survey, an estimated 1 in 4 Australian women has experienced violence from an intimate partner since the age of 15. And the impact extends across generations, with about 1 in 6 women reporting they witnessed violence towards a parent by a partner before they turn 15. Tonight, I want to shed some light on different forms of this abuse that can take. Put a spotlight on one form that is often hidden: financial abuse. Most importantly, let you know where help and support can be found. When many people think of domestic violence, they often picture physical harm and physical abuse: hitting, slapping, pushing, choking is absolutely a damaging part of it. It leaves visible scars, but the damage runs much deeper. But abuse isn't always visible. It can be insidious, chipping away a person's sense of self. Emotional and psychological abuse. This is about undermining someone's worth, constant criticism, insults, humiliation, threats against them, their children, pets, or even threats of self-harm by the abuser. It includes manipulation and gaslighting, making someone doubt their own reality and sanity. Social abuse. This is about isolation, controlling who someone sees, where they go, monitoring their calls and messages, sabotaging relationships with friends and family, preventing them from working or studying, or making them feel alone and dependent. Sexual abuse. This includes any unwanted sexual behavior forced upon someone. It's about violating intimacy and trust, and it includes everything from unwanted touching to forced sexual acts. Consent is crucial. Always, even within marriage or long-term relationships. Spiritual or cultural abuse. This involves mocking someone's beliefs, preventing them from practicing their faith or culture, or twisting those beliefs to justify the abuse. Stalking. Repeated, unwanted attention or monitoring that causes fear, following someone, constantly calling or messaging, showing up unannounced at their home or work. Technology-facilitated abuse. Abusers are now using technology as a weapon, tracking movements with GPS, demanding passwords, online harassment, sharing intimate photos without consent, constantly checking messages or controlling social media. All these forms are interconnected, often happening at the same time. But tonight, I want to focus specifically on one form that often flies under the radar: financial abuse. What is financial abuse? It is using money and finances to control someone. It's about limiting their independence, making them dependent, and trapping them in a relationship. Why is it so important to talk about? Because it's often hidden. It can start subtly, maybe disguised as caring or managing a household budget. Victims might not even recognize it. They might feel too ashamed to talk about it. And critically, it is one of the biggest barriers preventing someone from leaving an abusive situation. So what does financial abuse actually look like? It can be controlling all the money, giving an inadequate allowance like a child, or demanding receipts from every purchase. It can be preventing someone from working or earning their own money, maybe sabotaging job interviews, constantly criticizing their efforts, or demanding they quit. It can be stealing from them, selling possessions without permission, or running up a huge debts in their name, sometimes forcing them to take out loans or credit cards. It can be refusing to contribute to household bills or necessities, leaving the victim and children without adequate food, clothing, or medical care. It can be making someone totally dependent, ensuring they have no access to bank accounts, no savings, no financial safety net whatsoever. The impact of this is profound. It chips away independence. It can lead to massive debt that follows someone for years, ruining their credit card rating and making it hard to rent a home or even get a phone plan. It creates constant stress and anxiety, and fundamentally, it makes leaving feel impossible. How do you escape when you have no money, nowhere to go, and potentially overwhelming debt caused by a person you need to get away from? This devastating reality is powerfully captured in the research of Dr. Anne Summers, adjunct professor from the University of Technology in Sydney. Her work highlights what she calls the choice: violence or poverty. It shows that for too many women in Australia, the decisions to leave a violent partner isn't just about finding safety. It's about facing severe financial hardship. Often, government support payments are simply too low to live on. And because the abuse itself has destroyed their financial security, this lack of adequate financial pathways traps women, forcing an impossible choice between enduring violence or poverty. And this financial trap is one reason why leaving an abusive relationship is incredibly complex. People stay for many reasons: fear of violence, concern for their children, hope that the abuser will change, isolation, shame, and sometimes genuine love mixed with the fear. So how can we help? How can we recognize these signs? Sometimes signs are subtle. Maybe someone seems overly anxious about spending money. Perhaps their partner always controls the conversation about finance. Or they seem lack money despite having a job or running a business. Maybe they seem increasingly withdrawn or isolated. If you suspect someone you know is experiencing family violence, including financial abuse, here are some ways to help. Listen without judgment. Let them talk. Create a safe space. Believe them. Tell them you believe them and that what's happening is not okay. It is not their fault. Focus on safety. Ask if they feel safe, but respect their decisions. Don't pressure them to leave before they are ready. This can be dangerous. Offer practical support if it is safe for you both. Maybe offer a childcare, a listening ear, or help them look up resources. Gently share information that supports services. Let them know help is confidential and available when they are ready. And if you are sitting here tonight and any of this sounds familiar, please hear this. It is not your fault. Abuse is a choice made by the abuser. You are not alone, and help is absolutely available. Reaching out is a sign of incredible strength. This is perhaps the most important information I can share with you today. There are dedicated services ready to support people experiencing family and domestic violence. In an emergency, or if you know someone else is in danger, always call the 000. There are 24/7 confidential counseling and support. You can call the 1-800-RESPECT. There's also a chat service available in their website, which is the 1-800-RESPECT.org.au. In Western Australia, we have specific lines: Women's Domestic Violence Helpline, Men's Domestic Violence Helpline. This line supports male victims and also men who are concerned about their own behavior. Crisis care. We also have, for issues related to financial abuse, financial counselors offer free, confidential help with debt, budgeting, and navigating financial mess abuse can create. You can find local services through Financial Counselors Association of Western Australia or the National Debt Helpline, which is the 1-800-007-007. Legal aid and community legal centers can also provide crucial legal advice. Additionally, a unique resource in Perth is the Ruwa Centre for Women and Children in Northbridge, which houses the Call-Up service. Call-Up is a Noongar word meaning a place where you belong and feel safe. This center offers one-stop hub focused on healing and recovery for women and children affected by family and domestic violence, providing a wraparound support like counseling, health services, legal aid, financial safety, housing support, and links to short-term accommodation all in one place. It is important to note that this service supports women who are safe from immediate danger and operates during business hours. In conclusion, family and domestic violence in all its form, physical, emotional, sexual, social, and financial, thrives in silence and misunderstanding. By being here this afternoon, by learning more about it, we challenge that silence. Understanding these dynamics, especially the controlling nature of the financial abuse and the terrible choice between violence and poverty, highlighted by the researchers like Dr. Summers, helps us recognize it in our communities, perhaps even in our own lives or the lives of those we care about. Knowledge empowers us to support survivors, challenge attitudes that excuse or minimize abuse, and know where to turn for help. Ending family and domestic violence requires a community effort. It starts with awareness, empathy, and the courage to speak up.
Thank you so much. I personally have learned so much, and I'm sure all of you have as well. A big thank you to the Baha'i community of Melville for hosting. A big thank you to our expert panelists who have educated us immensely today. And a thank you to our AV assistant at the back who has helped us with sound and audio recording. And also a thank you to the Mental Health Forum's organizing task force.
If today's episode has raised any concerns for you, please reach out to your local mental health service and your support network. For those in Australia, please contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. If you found today's episode useful, remember to share an episode with a friend and follow Mind and Soul Matters on your preferred podcast platform and on social media. Look forward to your company next time on Mind and Soul Matters.